back on the MSG 150 at home. Great to have you with us. Steve Valiquette and I now. Special treat as we continue with Rangers president John Davidson. JD, can't thank you enough for your time. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well. The NHL has announced its self-quarantine is extending now till April the 30th. As a president of the organization, how do you plan when the future is so uncertain?
Well, hi there, guys, and thanks for the well wishes, and the same to you and your family, and for everybody out there that's watching. These are very difficult times, without question. You know, when you have this much time and you're at home, you stay in touch with everybody that you possibly can, from your family and your friends through your business, and that's with the Rangers organization. So we do a lot of different things. It's multifaceted. It has to do with the players and their programs and where they are, and our training staff is in touch with all these guys all over the world every day. They do virtual training sessions. They do a little bit of everything to see if everybody is good, including their well-being. Everybody, this is just hard on everybody. Regarding our management, we are in touch with our scouting staff and coaching staff daily. We go through a lot of Zoom calls to go over things as though the draft were to be tomorrow. We're prepared to go into the draft. So there's a lot of things that can keep you real busy, even though there's that huge question mark of when.
JD, thank you again for your time today. And I've been thinking a lot about this. Artemi Panarin last year on July 1st chooses the Rangers. You choose him. I don't think it got talked enough about that he chose you. You know, we talk all the time about that, but you had that working relationship with him in Columbus. And what do the players know about you that they would make a decision for 7 years to make that commitment to you and the organization?
Well, I mean, that's nicely said, but
JD, we know you're not a nice guy.
Listen, we in Columbus, when we made the trade there for the bread man, we knew we were getting a very special player. The big thing that Chicago did in trading him for Brandon Saad was that Saad had a 4-year deal. Panarin only had 2. And so we still said we're going to do it. And luckily for us, it really worked out in that he's just a great player, period. And he's a heck of a guy. And he's got a sparkle in his eye every day that he goes to work. And he just wants to do nothing but get better. I got to know him, but I will confess that I did my very best to keep him in Columbus because I was working for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then when those changes occurred, we knew one thing about Brett, and he was being perfectly honest, and that was that he wanted to go to a big city. He had to make a lifetime decision when you're thinking of that amount of years of a contract. He's getting married, they'll have a family, I'm sure, and he wanted to know where he was going to be to have all that happen. And it worked out. He kept his word. You know, I was thinking about it the other day about how well he played this past season, or this season that's still ongoing. I think it wore on him a little bit in Columbus, knowing that people there, management, ownership, teammates, coaches, fans galore, all wanted him to stay. There was fans that put up billboards downtown Columbus asking him to stay. So he had to go to work every day with this on his shoulders, and he still was a star. And then to see how well he played this year, I think everything went off his shoulders. And he just loves New York, every aspect of it. And so we're very, very happy. It's made players around him better. It's made our team better. It's made it even more fun to go to the Garden to watch the Rangers play. So it's been a win-win for everybody.
JD, you, of course, went to the Blues, turned them around, went to the Blue Jackets, turned them around. How would you compare your first year with the Rangers to your first year with each of those two other organizations?
The first year in St. Louis was hard. They had very few players under contract. But Larry Plow, who incidentally was the assistant general manager when the Rangers won with Neil Smith in '94, he was there, and we worked together, put a lot of hours in along with it. You know, it was a team effort to try to get that thing turned around, but it took a long time. We had to find first-round picks. We had to make the picks. We had to develop the picks. We had to do a lot of things, rebuild the marriage of the team and the whole city. And the one thing I'm proud about is when they won the Cup last year, 10 of the 20 players that were dressed in that game for the Blues were players that we were a part of acquiring for the Blues. And then you add in the general manager that we hired, and Doug Armstrong, and they've done a great job there. But you just feel good about we at least got them set in the right direction. And then when there was an ownership change, I ended up going to Columbus. They had more they had more going for them when I got there, and so that was helpful. Maybe the biggest valley was Sergei Bobrovsky was already there. Scott Howson, who had been the general manager or was the general manager when I got there, he had made that trade. That gave the backbone to the franchise. Keep the puck out of the net, you have a chance to win. And then we went through the whole process all over again. I don't know if I'm a bit of a nut going to places where you're going to try to rebuild all the time, but I've enjoyed both of those. They're great cities, great sports cities, St. Louis and Columbus. And then I had a chance to fulfill a dream and come back to New York, which we're right in the middle of. And I'm very impressed with a lot of the things that are in place here with Jeff Gordon and Chris Drury. They've done a marvelous job. The coaching staff is solid. The players with the understanding of what it's going to take to become an elite athlete. The biggest example would be Zibanejad, how he's changed his career by caring more about a lot of different things. He's a great guy, and to see him have success, it's special. And see the young guys coming, and there's going to be a lot more young guys coming. It's a pretty good time to be a Ranger fan.
JD, if I were to tell you last year when you were announced as a Rangers president that through 70 games of your first season, you would have developed all this young talent, had a GM and a coach solidly in place, and you're only a couple of points out of a playoff spot, what would you have said to me last June?
I would have been surprised. I really would have, to be bluntly honest, because I've done it twice. I've been a part of rebuilds in two different cities, surrounded myself with good people in those two cities, and that really got us going. Here, I had to analyze a lot of different things, and that includes coaches and general managers and things, and I saw a lot of good things, and a good portion of the way through, we re-upped both Jeff Gordon and Chris Drury, and very deservedly so. They've got some things in pretty good spots here. We know we have a long way to go. That's just what it is. It's hard to win in this league, but when you build a foundation and you know, just take it step at a time type of thing. I said in Columbus we would build it a brick at a time, and you've got to make good moves. It's hard to make great moves every time you make a move, but your batting percentage has to be pretty good. And I think there's been a lot of good things in that direction. Chris Drury, too, by the way, in running the Hartford franchise, has done a great job. But everything that Mr. Dolan went to these guys before I got here, he says, whatever you need, we're going to get you because I want to win. And that's the attitude you have to have. So in Hartford, we have all the specialties that you need. Skills coach, goalie coach, skating coach, all these types of things. Because when you bring these young people in, the quicker you can get them ready, the better it is. And so they I think as our group moves forward, we're in a pretty good spot regarding all that stuff. Now, it's still going to be hard. There's steps forward, then there's one back. And then there's steps forward, then there's one back. But there's good things in place.
JD, we're going to leave it there. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you. You're in the Hall of Fame as a broadcaster. If you keep going the way you are as an executive, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame as an executive, as a team builder. Best to you and your family and the Rangers during this period, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, good talking to you two guys. I really appreciate it. The best to your families and for everybody watching. Let's get through this thing together. We got to do it. We just simply have to do it, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, coming up next, classic games. Jaromir Jagr for the Rangers against the Islanders back in 2006 when we're back on the MSG 150 at home right after this.